The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Welcome back. My name is Edgar Matthew Karuhanga. This is the Mighty Drive. Muzikirize nsoke mbasabe mutusonyiwemu omanyi network yaffe wano mpola mpola emanyi okubuukako tukyali ku Facebook ate Facebook nzigale mu ggwanga lino erya Uganda ate ebya Uganda namwe mubimanyi naye tukomyewo in the second hour of the show tugendagendera ddala paka wali ssaawa 3 ati tugenda yimiriramu kugenda for a short commercial break because kati tufunyeko ka break aka tumaze kanzirewo omwami Arthur K abadde akyamaliza ensonga obadde okyamulungula ensonga y'embeera egenda mu maaso mu ggwanga.
So I was still talking about the situation, the crisis. Bannayuganda njagala bategeere the word crisis. Crisis tubeera mu mbeera nga ekisooka ebintu bya buseere, nga waliko high rate of unemployment, nga waliko poverty, kwegamba nga that's what we call the crisis. So now, nakugambye nti I've moved around the country, ngezaako kutambula. Naye people are in a very sorry state. Sabuni eri mu kanaana genda mu mutwalo. There is poverty. Era I bet that akawunga kagenda tuuka mu kakaaga. Kagenda tuuka mu kakaaga. By the way, I've got information nti kati akawunga kasinga omuceere ebbeeyi. Edda omuceere gwali gwa bbeeyi. Naye kati akawunga ka bbeeyi era kagenda tuuka mu kakaaga. Because even areas where they grow maybe bafunyemu obuzibu nti is it drought and so forth, so tetugenda kufuna kawunga. So embeera mu maaso gye tugenda bijja kwonoonekera ddala okusinga nekye tulimu kati.
Twesibe 3.
Si kwesiba 3. Bannayuganda balina ekyokukola, they have the solution. Ugandans balina ekyokukola kubanga nagambye nti ng'okyali mu bufuzi obwa Mwami Museveni ne regime ye. That's why Natam is it is a kakistocracy. Kubanga si Museveni yekka, the whole leaders. It is a regime of worst leaders from the top to the village level. The whole system is dead because no one is helping. Ugandans are languishing in poverty. No one is helping. They are not providing a solution. Okay. It is a global crisis.
Yes.
But we have seen other countries doing something. We saw what Tanzania did. It reduced on the taxes.
Even Kenya.
Yes. I was in Kigali for more than 3 weeks. I went there 2 consecutive times. Kigali actually even increased on the taxes of fuel, but their price is still lower than ours. So you understand the situation we are in. They increased on the taxes of fuel so that they stimulate the economic growth. But their price is still lower than ours.
Lastly, but one would say the dynamics are different. Rwanda has different dynamics than Uganda.
No, I'm giving you several examples. Kenya, we are in East Africa. Uganda, we are privileged. We have everything. Who told you the dynamics? What what form of dynamics are they? We have everything. The leaders are doing completely nothing.
Okay, I'm going to cross over to Mr. Isaiah. Isaiah Mpiirwomugisha. I want to pick your outlook on what is happening in the country today. You as, first of all, as a student, as a young person, and as a member of the Alliance for National Transformation, a group of people who are willing to take power. So first tell us, you as an individual, what is your outlook generally on how life is going right now?
Speaking from the level of a student.
Start from there.
At the university, Makerere University. We used to move to areas like Chikumi, areas like Chikoni, to have meals from there. At around 2,500, you used to get a strong meal that would last you for the entire day. Nowadays, you find the price of meals has increased, or the quantity of the food that they serve in those restaurants has reduced. So, the current headline inflation that is in Uganda today, whereas most government officials say that it is imported, but it is domestic in nature. This is why. From URA, every liter of fuel is charged 1,450 shillings as a tax.
Bulilita.
Bulilita, yeah.
And a liter goes for 6,000 right now. 6,000.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
there is 1,400 that goes to the government.
To the government as tax. So, if the government wants to do physical policy intervention,
but
then at
you
least
should explain these big terminologies to Ugandans.
Oh yes.
When you're talking about fiscal policies, what do you guys mean?
Oh yes. Physical policy has to deals with things, taxes and whatsoever.
Okay.
Then monetary policy deals with things like reducing the bank rates and interest rates.
Okay.
Now, so reducing on taxes on fuel. I think if at least that tax is reduced by 1,000, that means that the price of fuel currently will reduce from 6,000 to 5,000. At least Ugandans may be a bit lifted on the burden that is currently on, because fuel transport costs affect the entire supply chain of goods. Someone who uses to transport his matoke from Isinjiro to Kampala, because of the increased transport costs, he has to increase the charge or the food. Then that means the final consumer, who is a student, and a student is a dependent, depends on a parent in the village. In suffering.
The dynamics, it's trickling down to every individual.
To every individual.
And it feels like the poorest are the ones who are most affected.
The poorest are the ones who are most affected. That's it. That's the truth. With the students, we are the most affected people of the current economic crisis that is in Uganda currently today. Away from reducing on the taxes, the other strategies government can use to curb, to bring down the current crisis. Around 2000, the UK government did what we call quantitative easing. Quantitative easing is where the central bank prints more money, yes, puts into circulation. The citizens get the bargaining power so that they can outcompete the what? They can outcompete the high prices of commodities. They can be able
That's
it.
But won't that cause another problem when you print more money and there is a lot of money in circulation? Are you creating more inflation at the end of the day? That was done in 87, remember, when Seven had taken power. They got money, they reprinted money, and they thought the strategy was, let us put more money in the people, in the economy, so the economy can thrive. It backfired.
Yes, it backfired because of the nature of the nature of Ugandans. Okay. I wanted to still explain that.
Yes, please do.
It worked for UK, but the people in charge in UK are not the same people that our society has.
Thank you.
We're in a country.
Are different.
Yes, we're in a country where we put the most corrupt into leaders, into positions of authority. True. If you bring more money into circulation, the big people, the big dogs in the government we'll be looking where to do what? To keep that money from. I think it may work because of the current situation, the culture that is in Uganda. That strategy may not work.
Okay, but you see, you're telling government to ease, but government is actually like telling us that we are comfortable, we're okay. Government has come out to tell us, and even Museveni reiterated it yesterday, that we are middle income. We are a middle income country. So when you talk about middle income, in a time like this, to some extent you may say, we're okay. It's literally what he's trying to assert. That you guys, the statistics are showing us we are becoming better. So I want you to comment on that before I cross to Arthur.
And what was the response from the World Bank?
The World Bank was saying, no, you are not middle income. But he's saying, according to the statistics that they have recorded per this year, using their calculation of GDP, we are a middle income country. And he's actually getting more than $1,000 a month.
You will know human nature. However much they are big people in those offices and whatsoever, but they still remain humans. And humans, we are known of praising ourselves. We all wish good things to be said about us. I did this, I did this. Yes. Then we reach an extent where you find we go away from the facts. And we bring in our emotions and whatsoever.
Yes, please.
Honestly speaking, I don't think as Uganda we have reached the middle income status. Take a look at what is happening. A middle income status, you won't be finding people dying of hunger, like what is happening in Karamoja.
I was telling people 518,000, according to a report that was tabled yesterday, they are on the verge of death. If nothing is going to be done in the next few days, over 500,000 Ugandans.
Then you wake up, you wake up one day on a TV and say that we are middle income.
Are we?
People are dying of hunger.
I still have...
Majority of the Ugandans are dropping out of school.
Yes. That is an irony. The gentleman here speaking all those facts is Mr. Mpiirwomugisha Isaiah from the Alliance for National Transformation, and from Makerere University. He's a third-year student. And you're a guild aspirant?
Yes, I'm a guild aspirant.
We'll talk about that later. Let me cross over to Mr. Arthur K., who is from the Forum for Democratic Change. And it's called PFT, Patriotic Front for Transition, right?
You even don't know
People's Front for Transition.
Yes.
But people and patriotism all work together. Same God. So, no, I want to also pick your mind on the trajectory at this time that Uganda is middle income. And mind you, we are talking about Uganda being a middle income country in a state where fuel crisis is happening. And here we have food insecurity, we have disease, we have war, we have hunger. And in a time like this, is it an irony that we are a middle income country?
I've said it's laughable.
It's
laughable. And I had earlier said that those leaders are egocentric. So think about someone who minds about himself and his family.
But that is also a wrong assertion.
No, wait a moment. I'm saying, think about someone who minds about the minority. That is his family and a few people. What else does he have to say? That is what he can say. In this crisis, in this situation, when people are dying of hunger, as you have said, in Karamoja. But this is not the first time for people to die of hunger. People have been dying of hunger. The crisis of Uganda has not happened just today.
In 2020, people were breaking down.
No, it has been there for a long period of time. Just because now it has deepened. It has simply deepened. Now that everyone is feeling it.
It is now what we are seeing. It's now we are realizing it right now. But the problem has been there.
Those who think that they are in power, those supporting the NRM, they are now feeling it. But we have been in the crisis for a long period of time. This is not the first time. You cannot rule the country for 36 years and you think that you are going to make any change at this moment. So the NRM regime is a failed and fragile state. There's nothing they can deliver. So even I think you have, from my brother, what he has said, the World Bank and other people, we are laughing. How can you say that Uganda is it has now achieved middle income status? How can it happen? When you're when there is economic downturn, abantu bali bubi. In most of the suburbs in Kampala, they don't have electricity, they don't have water. There is high rate of unemployment. Abana tebalina mirimo. The chief export of Uganda is now labor. They should update their statistics. Every day, every single day, hundreds of children, hundreds of cities, they are going to the Arab world.
I think they are using all those dynamics to say that we are middle income.
No, that shows that
the people.
The economic growth and economic stability, there must be employment opportunities. Stability in employment, in jobs, employment opportunities. Now they are moving, they are running away from the country because they don't have what to do. So that's the chief export. A country whose backbone is agriculture, you're exporting labor to the Arab world. And for them, they are benefiting.
Yeah.
They are benefiting. When our children are suffering from there. So that thing of middle income status, Ugandans should forget about it. And they know it. Most of the transport sectors, those who are in business of transport, are pulling out. Yesterday I saw news that Gaga, this company that has more than 50 buses, it has grounded most of them simply because of two reasons. That fuel is expensive and there are no passengers on the road. I was moving to Mbarara recently. There are no passengers. I paid 20K. Do you know what it means? Personally, I paid 20K. Because the people don't have money.
So they have decided not to.
Yet fuel is expensive, so they don't have anyone to take. If you say I have 150, I mean 20, they will take you. It is certificate to go to Mbarara, but I paid 20K. Do you know what it means? Will that person survive in that business? If he continues like that when fuel is expensive, can you imagine such kind of situation? So for us as the PFT, we are saying that all those things we have been explaining about them, now we don't need to explain because Ugandans are seeing them themselves. They are seeing whatever is happening. They are feeling it. Now it's their role to do something.
Then let me ask you in that regard, because the PFT and your leader, retired Colonel Dr. Kiza Besigye, have been candid in trying to wake Ugandans up, to tell them mumanyi mubira bebigenda mu maaso bibanyiga namwe bitunyiga namwe bibanyiga. Why have the people failed to embrace what you stand for, Arthur?
We have patrons. There is a country which is full of, it is possible. Wait a moment. People are cowards. That is also a point. That people are patrons. They fear even what they don't know.
They know it.
No, they don't know
They know it.
Because they shouldn't be fearing this regime, which is already in shambles.
Why shouldn't they?
This regime is in shambles.
I'm going to give you examples why they should. First of all, you remember what happened recently in the elections, 2021, November 18th and November 19th, when people took to the streets to try and fight for a leader that had been incarcerated. I think over 50 Ugandans lost their lives that day.
More than 50.
And that's why I said over.
1,000 in prison.
Yes, many of them lost their lives. Go back to 2016, what happened in Kasese. It feels like everybody who tries to put out their hand and say, please, the hand is crushed.
That is what the military regime does. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes, please.
To intimidate.
That is not intimidating.
To make you fear. You come out, they do something. But let me tell you something. Another point before I go to that one.
Yes, please.
We have ideological differences. What we may call the opposition. For us, we prefer to call them captives. We should be calling ourselves captives, not the opposition. That is why I'm saying that we have ideological differences. Where some, their aim and their goal is on the coming election. You see that whatever they are doing, they are preparing for 2026. While others are saying, no, we should act now. So that is what we call ideological difference. That the ideologies are not similar. So when Dr. Kiza Besigye comes out and says, let's do something, Others are doing counterbalancing. Others are shilly-shallying. You know what I'm talking about? So others are not bothered at all. So you don't expect a country like that to do something because there is already divisions. The people are not united. They say that unity is strength. People must unite. People must understand that I'm not Noob, I'm not FDC, I'm not Ant, I'm a captive. We are captured. We are in a state, we are in a soil state. We must collectively act together.
But if you, the leaders, have failed to collectively act together, how do you expect
That is what I'm talking about. That some of the leaders, their aims and their goals are different. Totally different. You should not expect someone who is aiming 2026 to come and join you. Because leaders always spearhead. Leaders have a voice. If you say that now...
But if you're aiming for 2026, I was thinking the irony should be, you should be working right now in order to achieve what you want to achieve in 2026. Isn't that what is supposed to happen?
Have you seen some of the people really trying to tell people that let's act, let's do something? There are people whose aim now is at building luxurious buildings. There are people whose aim is totally different. There are people who have never talked about the crisis ever since it started. We have members of parliament, leaders, ever since they were elected. They have never said anything. Because for them, they are now safe. They have jobs. What you are feeling is not what they are feeling. You talk about fuel that is 6,600. For them, they don't feel it, even if it is 20K.
They have a government
card. They can't afford it.
There is a card.
You are talking about diseases, you are talking about health sectors that are in shambles. No, they don't understand that. So that means that Ugandans, we are on our own. Those leaders have neglected us. They have never talked about it. There are very many of them. They don't want to mind. You say now, we have a conference, let's debate about the crisis. For us as the PFT, by the way, let me try to remind you.
Yes, please.
We need something. We approach some of the leaders. Things are well written. Some of them have never responded to us. Because the debate was about the crisis, we said, okay, maybe you don't want to join the PFT, but at least, can you join us? Can we have a joint action plan? They have never responded. But our issue, the PFT, its major focus is about the crisis. That's why it has a book called The Crisis in Uganda Today. These problems, if Ugandans don't wake up, if Ugandans don't bury their problems, these problems are going to remain there.
Okay, 25 minutes past the top of the hour of 8. This is the Mighty Drive Show. Now I want us to cross over to this working solutions and the role of the young people in what is happening today. What is the role of the people? It's a good thing you are from a university and predominantly those are young people. What are some of the working solutions that we need to come? You know, it's very easy for us to blame the people in power, right? The government, because predominantly it should be their role to spearhead the change that Ugandans need. But we are in a context where, as both of you have said, the government is actually not doing enough. So, Mr. Gil President, allow me to give you that blessing. So you receive it.
Yes.
When someone says something good, always receive it there and then. So, Mr. President, from the people of your fraternity, what are those working solutions that young people should engage in order for them to better their politics, to better their economics, to better their society at the end of the day? Isaiah.
When a moderator, at times I look at things and laugh. I'm in an election. I'm this kind of a candidate who pointed out the issues that are affecting Makerere students. And everyone chanted at me and said, yes, he's our candidate. But a week after, someone came with money. The boys ran to that boy, to the money person.
The money guy.
And now they are praising the money person, the money guy. Hey?
Yes, please.
Yet, these are students of Makerere University. The cream
De la cream.
of the entire nation.
Yes, so.
The expected intellectuals of this nation.
Yeah.
when I see the so-called intellectuals of this nation being manipulated as if they are like those people who never went to school. I look at the future of our nation and say, where are we leading to? I doubt the kind of Uganda that we shall build in the next 20 to 30 years.
Yes, please.
As an advocate of change and as an advocate of youth inclusion in policy making and whatsoever, my prayer, this is beyond human control, my prayer is that we get a few clear-minded young Ugandans. If we get around 30 youth who are right-thinking, who are ready to see something that is bad and say no, regardless of the compromise and intimidation, our Uganda will be in safer hands in the next 30 years. But the moment we sit back, we the right-thinking people, we sit back and say that we cannot intervene, then we are likely to suffer from what we call leadership crisis, generational leadership crisis. Yes, for years and years. Our predecessors, the elders who are in power, I don't think they have lived what we call exemplary life. What should we copy from them? Should we copy that if someone gets into a leadership position,
it's their time to eat.
To serve personal interests over society interests.
But the young people are really asking one simple question. Maybe they also feel what is going on, but what should they do? They don't know what to do. And I'm telling you, many young people out there don't know what to do. As you, their leaders, what is that you tell them, the gentlemen, ladies, this is what we ought to do? Instead of, protesting and standing up may be good, right? But what do? They don't know. How do they do it? How do we create the change we need?
I personally, I'm not an advocate of protesting and whatsoever.
And violence.
I do believe in dialogue as one way of conflict resolution.
Yes.
If there are other people who are not comfortable with going on the streets, let them air out their issues. Let them speak up. As we have our colleagues who believe in rioting and whatsoever, let us also speak up so that we can have a collective effort. We have social media. Fortunately, we're in a generation where social media is in control. I saw just of recent, no one went to street. The penalty thing was brought down because of the power of social media. Let us utilize the avenues that are at our exposure to create a difference in our societies.
Yes, please.
That's all I can advise the young people out there.
Use whatever you've got.
Use whatever you've got. If you're good at poetry, do it. If you're good at comedy, do it. Drama, use drama to what?
Use satire.
Yes.
To actually mock.
If you're good at music, use it. I like our elder, Bobby Wine. Even when he had not directly entered into politics, but his kind of music was airing out message to people that was airing out message about the issues that affect our society, people in our societies. And that was good. I'm here to implore every Ugandan. Use any chance that you have. Use any talent that you have to speak up.
Okay.
That's what.
All right. Thank you so much, Isaiah. And you are still watching the Mighty Drive. We think we have a couple of few minutes to get done with this particular discussion, but you're still looking at the role of young people in reshaping and redefining the future of Uganda, the future of what we all call home, this land that is the Pearl of Africa. Arthur, working solutions, what is the role of you and me and people who are of your same age and of your same mindset and who are going through the things you are going through as an individual? What do you think? Where should we start from? How do we better our politics? How do we better our economics? How do we better even our mindset as Ugandans to know that, hey, because we have that mindset that the people in power, let them do what they want. We don't hold people accountable. The only thing we want to care about is to remove Vaibu. We are sharing memes, and it all looks like it is okay, yet deep down people are sad.
Now, it's very disappointing, by the way.
Yeah.
But what I can tell you, there's nothing that can be good on a silver plate. If Ugandans think that they will get things on a silver plate without any pain, they should forget about capturing power or changing anything, economically, politically, and socially. If they think that, and my brother, when you talk about really social media and other things, these things, they are working in countries which have democracy. We are reminding Ugandans that we are captured under a military regime, a regime that is using guns, a regime that even up to now, to use Facebook, you have to use VPN. It is not accessible. We are doing some things illegally now. Because for them, they banned it. In a country when most of the people are illiterate, there is high literacy rate. My brother, understand that. You not use those, means and think that something will change. So now, our role as the youth, or as Ugandans, is to understand that we must do something. By the way, I want to explain about our process that we would like to use to change this status quo.
Most definitely.
People think, because Ugandans now have failed to understand this properly, they think that, to demonstrate, to do something, you have to go on the streets, you burn tires. That is violence. We are non-violent. But in which way? Can't we lock down this country? It is very possible. If those people, borders, who want to be chased out of the city, if those taxi drivers whose fuel is, who cannot afford fuel apparently, if those people remain at home and lock down the country for like 1 week, can this government remain there? Will those gunmen go to their homes and say, no, come and go to work? I'm just trying to show you the means that Ugandans can use some non-violent means to do something. That is what we call defiance. Defiance is not just going to the streets and you raise the alarm, you cause havoc. No.
We break windows and
no, that is not our mean. We are explaining people to understand this. And what
they call civil disobedience
was mobilizing, awakening.
You want civil disobedience? That's
what we are talking about. And when I remain at home, I will see where those henchmen, those gunmen, where they will come from. It is possible. The president himself locked us down for several months. Ugandans were at home eating nothing. Didn't they survive?
They did.
What have they failed to do? Ugandans can do that, can put this into practice. And it is possible, I'm telling you. If this Kampala, if Museveni wakes up and his government, and no one is in Kampala, those people who are always, because if you move around Kampala, I don't have a vehicle. That means I usually use borders. I use several borders. And whoever I talk to, they are in a sort of state. They are talking about bad governance, bad situation. So those people who are feeling the heat, they can do something. So our process is that let's lock down the country. We don't want violence. But we can do something and regain our power. You see what those people in Sri Lanka did.
You wanted the Sri Lanka?
No, I'm trying to explain something. I'm bringing
no,
you
but
no, wait a moment.
Yeah, before I want you to also add it in, because many people have been asserting that the Sri Lanka style is what they need here. But do you think it's even viable? Can it work?
I'm bringing an example.
Yes, but many people have actually asserted to it.
Because they had a network of understanding,
yes,
they had a common ideology, they woke up and did something. There was not much violence. There will be resistance. The regime will try to do some kind of, but at least if you are united, you can do something. But for us as Ugandans, we can lock down the country. That is the chief solution. We are telling the people to do that. So those people who think that, because they are telling people that, they will shoot you. No, we are preventing you from those bullets. Stay at home. If you're a market vendor, hawkers were removed from the city. What are they eating? In Uganda, we are surviving hand to mouth. If you don't work, you don't eat.
But does that mean that you work from an area where you're not supposed to work from?
No.
The problem is, why do you always like to look at the negative?
Wait a moment,
as the opposition.
Now, in our country, if you are the government, there is a certain thing you want to sort out. You first look for a solution. You provide where they're supposed to be, but you don't wake up one day and chase them.
These people have been given
Do you
markets.
know why most of
markets have been built? These people don't want to be in the markets.
They are not enough. They are not enough. Malls are available and arcades. I went there. The occupancy rate is very low. They occupy the first floor and the second floor. Other floor, they are very empty. Why? The rent is high. And there is the crisis we're talking about. People rent back to the villages. What we're talking about is worse. I don't know how people are saying it. So I'm talking about high rate of unemployment. That's why everyone now is going to border at least to survive. And now they are chasing them away without providing a solution. Do you know what the government should be doing to provide employment opportunities? Because we are talking about all over the youth to do what and whatsoever.
Yes.
Do you know what the government should be doing?
What?
Has the government invested in industrialization? Because one of the best ways to provide employment opportunities is industrialization. Yes. Because we understand that the youth, they are the heartbeat of the nation. If you don't provide the solution for them, that is why you have high rate of unemployment in Uganda. And it is going to cause insecurity and violence. Insecurity and violence.
It has already caused.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
People are dying, people
are
killing themselves.
Putting other factors constant, we can even explain about the problems we are facing for the whole day. Because they are very many. We have talked about hunger, we have talked about poverty, we have talked about
violence
everything. We have talked about everything. Now, we must be looking at the solution. And those who are thinking with a dialogue, let me tell you something. You cannot have a dialogue with this regime. Impossible. There are those who tried. They failed. There are those who thought that dialogue can deliver something. The very reason why it is now 36 years, it can even be 40, 45, and even it can be, after all, there can be monarchy. Yes, if we remain like that,
constitutional
it is
monarchy.
possible. One party can rule a country for very many years. Like what is happening in Zimbabwe. Ever since independence, it has been ZANU-PF up to now.
Now let's go to the tough questions because we are going. It's about time. I think we have like 10 minutes. I'm going to go to the tough questions. We are saying the government should do this. What are you as political entities doing? What is PFT doing apart from talking? What is ANT doing apart from talking? I'll start with you. What are we doing to make sure our people become better at the end of the day? What are we doing instead of always pointing the finger to the government, which is our role, predominantly as opposition, right? But what are we doing for us to change people's lives down there?
Let me tell you one thing, Madam Moderator.
Yes, please.
You may be having ideas, you may be having war strategies, you may be having each and everything. But the moment you do not have what we call facilitation or authority, you're nothing.
You don't have power.
Yes, we do not have power. as anything.
But the little you may have, you can help. I don't think because you're not in power that renders you unable to help people. You don't need to be in power to change people's lives. There are many people who have shown us Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi did not have any office, but he has impacted lives up to now.
Putting into consideration the current culture that is on, the situation that is on, where everything is too commercialized. Without depending on taxpayers' money, let me tell you, an opposition political party can't do anything. The only thing we can do is advocacy.
Speak about these things.
The only thing we can do is advocacy. And as NT,
yes,
we are trying to do that. I like our colleagues from People's...
Front for Transition.
Yes, they're doing their part. And we like them. The other day, I was at court. I support them. I was at court when Nyanjura was big. Nyanjura and colleagues, the Adekes were charged at LODC court. I support them because that's what they believe in. Yes, they are right. As ANT, we are doing our part. They're also doing their part as FDC. The NUP people, they're doing their part. Just recently, I read about them. I read about something. They're giving food to the people in Karamoja.
Yeah, over 5,000
yes,
kilograms.
It's because they can afford. And we applaud them for that. Yes. We're working within our means to create a change. You cannot afford what you do not have. Yes. Yes.
So you shouldn't be held accountable for what you cannot be in position to offer.
Sure.
Okay. Let me cross over to a gentleman from PFT. Arthur, you have raised a lot of eyebrows on what is happening, on everything. But one thing you haven't mentioned is what PFT, apart from speaking about these challenges, which we are not saying that is not enough, but we are saying, how are you impacting people at the end of the day? Because yes, you may help and advocate for a beggar, but wouldn't it be a better blessing if you blessed the beggar yourself?
Now, let me tell you something.
Yes, sir.
The PFT has done its best. Okay?
Yes, please.
The remaining role is for the entire population who are feeling the heat. Are we together?
Yes, please.
So, when you say that the PFT have just done talking, it's also laughable. The PFT is awakening you. It is telling you that it is your role. And you are saying that the PFT is just talking. It is teaching
but
you.
that is talking.
Wait a moment. You saw Mukaku and Dr. Kiza Besji.
Yeah.
They are downtown. What were they doing?
They were talking. That is talking.
That is action. You are awakening. That is practical. You are doing something practical. You know what I'm talking about? So,
how can I say that it's not in the interest of retired Colonel Kiza Besji to start on the streets?
to get interested in what?
You never know.
Which interest?
What interests are always there for politicians?
Which interest? To start in 2026 to do what? Because I want you, this question, I want it to be clear. Which kind of interest?
That is a
Those interests are always
no,
there.
we have no.
Now, the problem with Ugandans is that. That is the problem of Ugandans. When you come up, you have an interest.
It is. I am trying to look at it from a perspective of neutrality. I'm looking at both sides because I don't want you to play the angel's advocate here. That you are wait a minute, because you are trying to say, and that is the problem. I'm also going to pose to the opposition of this country, is that everybody who has a different idea on what is being done is always dubbed to be a villain. Now, I'm doing another trajectory. I'm not saying that whatever they're doing may not be, he's doing it from a an egocentric point of view, but I am saying, of course, as an individual, retired Dr. Kano Kiza Besije and Mukaku, the moment you're seen on screen, the moment you have political mileage, that is always enough.
A moment.
That also works.
Wait.
So I'm saying apart from that, which is not bad, as I was also asking.
Wait a moment.
What else?
There is
are you
nobody who has an interest of being incarcerated every single day. There is nobody who is interested in paying the bail charges and being to Zila 2 weeks sleeping there. There is no one who has that interest. There is no one who would have loved to go to Zila, beaten, they do you whatsoever. There is no one who has that interest.
Okay, sir.
He's fighting for the problems of the common person. When they were launching the PFT, himself he said that it's not because I want to be the leader. If you think that you want to lead, come and lead. I will follow you. That is what he said. And as I have said that most of the letters were sent, there were no response. And some unreasonable responses. So, him, Dr. Kiza Besije, he talks, he tells you. So you should determine his, you should determine his interest by his words. The words he's saying, that is what determines what he's for. He's for change. He tells you that we are captives. We are under captivity. That is what he's telling you, that this is the crisis. He explains it. He tells you that now we have to do this. So putting that aside, what we would like to assure you is that most of the people who are in the PFT are from the FDC. Do you know that?
Yes, I know.
But FDC is a political party. If they had interest of either 2026, they wouldn't have bombed the PFT. PFT is not a political party that it is targeting 2026. No, it is a formation to make a change as soon as possible. To say, no, enough is enough. So now, what are the possible solutions? Because we have been talking about solutions, we have said that we can do this and this. What should Ugandans do? Ugandans should understand that this regime, if they don't do anything, it will remain there until Jesus comes back. Until Jesus comes back, Ugandans must play a chief role. Like how our grandparents did when we were under the Wazungu. They fought until we got independence. It was not an easy walk. It was an uphill climb. I'm telling you. People think that Uganda started today. No. We have people who fought. If they never fought, we could be in a bad state now. You understand? So for them, they fought. There must be something. So people should understand that we are under dictatorship. A dictator cannot be smile. You cannot smile. You cannot romance it. You smoke it out. You don't smile it out. You smoke it out. That no, we are going to do this and this and this. No, nothing can work under dictatorship. Even elections cannot work. We have been experiencing sham elections. Everything. So under dictatorship, don't think that you use what you call is a life and you get rid of anything. There's nothing you get rid of if you want to use, very simple means. Okay,
let me first read some of the comments we have here. I have Miss Nana Mwafrika, thank you so much for watching. She's been live. I have Ronald Mohinda, who says, which government? Arthur K. Then there is Sophie Wandega, who says, unity is the first step. Thank you, Comrade Arthur K. Then there is Nache Yune, and who has replied, we are not saying that riots don't work, but not only riots work. Anachaine was asking which one. We have Tumusime Edrin, who is watching. I have a lady called Lilian Luede. She's also watching. Allow me to read some of the other comments right here. Let me see. We have a couple of people who are watching. Roger Studiahabo is here. Wamala Charles is watching. Thank you so much for watching. I have Ngonzi Ansla watching. Thank you so much. Let me see a couple of messages here to come through. JJ Wabiona is watching. Innocent Aine Biona also is watching. There is Bate Emmanuel, Asasira Liz. All of them are right here on the Mighty Drive. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I want us to come to the end of this particular discussion today, and maybe we pick some of your parting shots in just 2 minutes each. Arthur, way forward, And your last remark on the show.
First and foremost, thanks for this very good opportunity.
Yes.
Because most of the Ugandans would have something to say, but they don't have platform
To say it.
Yes. So we thank you, most especially the alternative Digitalk TV, for providing this kind of platform. And we know what it means when you, you bring us here. It is not easy, and whatever you pass through, we understand it. So now, my remarks, my end remarks. Wachesula gamba bana Uganda kakolese no Uganda.
Yes, sir.
Bana Uganda njagala bategeere. Uganda eno tesobola chuka bino bigambo byembadde njogera ngenda biddamu. Uganda eno tesobola chuka nga tebeekozeemu omulimu.
Kitandika na.
Ate n'ekirala tesobola chuka ng'abantu tebagasse maanyi. What we call unity. Kwe kugatta endowooza zaffe.
Yes, sir.
Okutegeera nti kale nze ndi wa Nuupu, ndi wa Anti, ndi wa ki, naye ebizibu byaffe bye biki? Byebimu.
Yes, sir.
Abaana bano, they are in universities. Mbalina abaana, it was embarrassing. Mukwano gwange yagenda e Makerere n'asoma bachelors oba in what? Ne musanga eyo kukyeye. Ngamba Katonda wange.
Nawe oli eno.
Someone who has bachelors nanga maze mbadde kusitise Kampala okumala emyaka esatu sirina kyerina why? Nange nsazeewo ngezeeko.
Shuba.
It shows the state we are in. So, most especially the youth, by the way, the young, because our future is mumatiga.
Okay.
So, kitegeeza nti tulina okwekolamu omulimu. Twekolemu omulimu, tutegeere bino ebitwayawula. And we have a crisis of leaders. I didn't talk about that. We have a crisis
you
of
talked
leaders.
about it by the leadership crisis.
We have a crisis of leaders.
A generational leadership
Those people
crisis.
who come and liars, okay, voters, and their chief, chibatero kulembeza, we will solve the problem of unemployment. Katufaba fubo kane tuwaka. When they reach there, they zip their mouth. They mind about themselves. They have got the opportunity. They have got postcards. They have got everything. They will come back 2026 with huge sums of money to bribe you.
And you still vote them.
So Ugandans, we should really tutegeere ekyokukola. Tutegeere nti abo abakulembeze beefaako bonga bo. Tutegeere nti tuli ku lwaffe twerwaneko ke kaseera twegatte tulumbe twerwaneko.
Yeah. Mr. Isaiah, what are your parting shots?
Oh yes. Thank you so much, moderator, and the entire Digitalk TV for giving me this opportunity. I take it an honor. My message, my ending remarks, maybe first to Makerere University.
Yes.
As we're voting tomorrow, please vote a leader whom you see is ready to serve your interests as students. Do not vote because someone has given you pilau. We are above that. Don't vote because someone has brought Ziza Bafana to campaign for him or her. Vote for a person, for a leader you see is ready to serve your interests as a student, who is ready to address the issues that are affecting the entire student community of Makerere University. Lastly, I urge you, I'm here to urge the entire Ugandan community, most especially the young people. Unless we do what we call corrective action, we stand up and say no to things that we are seeing that are going wrong in our country. We are leading nowhere. We need to rise up as young people to stand to what is right.
Yes.
Say no to any form of compromise, to say no to any form of intimidation. With that, our Uganda is in safe hands.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Isaiah and Arthur. It's been a pleasure having both of you up to this time. I see 3 minutes to 9 a.m. Thank you so much to our special viewers who have been watching from 7 a.m. up to this time. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure and privilege having you on the show. We don't actually take it for granted because you spend your data, you spend your time, and watch us each and every other day. Thank you so much for those who have sent in those comments. Thank you. It's going to be a Friday, 15th of July, 2022. Mokose Arnold Anthony and Farida Bikobere will be right here ngatwogera ku buwanga nennono on the Mighty Drive. So tomorrow, don't miss out the Mighty Drive, and of course in the evening tomorrow we shall be having the Voltage Show by Lue De Lily, and then on Saturday we begin the weekend in style with Teddy Tenjo Nabukera, who will be doing the Snap Talk Show, and of course on Sunday Erisori Mukuru will be airing on the Digitalk TV. Monday we shall be returning with the Mighty Drive, and myself, I will be here to usher you into the new week. From the entire Digitalk TV crew, allow me to say thank you and enjoy the rest of your day. Good morning.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.